everybody, it's Chris Eads, and our line is Wootini with other Gay Gamer video podcast. This week I went to the movies, and like a whole bunch of other nerds, I saw Masters of the Universe. I'm not a big He-Man fan. I was too old for it when it came out, so I never got into He-Man. But I am very familiar with the characters, and so and I needed something dumb and fun to watch this week, so I was in the mood for dumb fun, and that's exactly what I got. It doesn't take itself too seriously. I enjoyed the premise that Adam was taken out of Eternia as a child, and he grew up on Earth, and then he comes back to Eternia to save it. Basic premise. So as a kid, he was like drawing all these pictures of the people he remembered from Eternia so he wouldn't forget them. And as a kid, he gave them names like Ram Man and Fisto and that sort of thing. So they made a joke out of their stupid names, which was amusing to me. It is very funny. Some of the jokes don't land, especially early on. There's a lot of humor that's just cringy and awkward, and that's not funny. But mostly it's good, and it is funny. The problem is that it takes everything so irreverently, and everything is funny and haha, we're not taking this too seriously. So when they do try to have a serious moment, that doesn't land either. Like, that's just, it's like, it's, the casting is good. He-Man looks terrific in his loincloth. Unfortunately, he does not spend a whole lot of time in that loincloth. He spends 80% of the movie as Adam, unfortunately. And it's also ridiculous that we're supposed to look at Adam as this, like, nerd who goes to the gym and doesn't know what he's doing, when clearly, under that baggy pink shirt, or baggy sweatshirt, he is a huge buff dude. Like, but since Adam is 80% of the movie, they couldn't do like a Steve Rogers Captain America kind of CGI thing where they CGI in a skinny body, because that would have been the whole budget right there. He's too much of the movie. But then we would have had more He-Man, so maybe that would have been better. But the effects are pretty good. Like, Skeletor looks amazing. I believe a lot of it was prosthetics with CGI enhancements or something, because there's no way that Skeletor wasn't like a prosthetic bodysuit. Like, that can't, maybe, and his skull was enhanced by CGI for some expressions and whatever, and the glowy eyes and shit. But there's no way that it was fully CGI, because Battle Cat looked terrible, and visibly CGI, and super fake, and did not interact well with the world around him and the characters. Like, Adam's petting him, and it's just like, woo, not good. So, I refuse to believe any of these characters were fully CGI, because they would look worse. There had to be some really nice prosthetic work. And in fact, Skeletor is really good. Jared Leto is terrific, because he's completely unrecognizable as Jared Leto. So that's a plus. He is in this bodysuit with the mask, and he does some weird British accent affectation voice, and it's very funny. The only one I didn't like was, I thought Alison Brie as Evelyn was like really not well. That was a miscast for me. She felt like she was in like this other movie that was like a straightforward comedy. She never felt menacing or real. She just felt like she was mugging for the camera, and I'm just like, oof. So, but everyone else is good though. And it is fun. It's a little too long. It's like 2.5 hours long, unnecessarily so. But they could have lost a good 20 to 30 minutes from the beginning. Like, we didn't need that much setup of little child Adam on Eternia. Like, they set it up, we get it, he's weak, they make fun of him. We don't need, like, that much of that, you know? We could also drop a good chunk of Adam on Earth wanting to get back to Eternia, because we get it. You've made the point, now let's just do it, you know? And you could have lost and trimmed the running time down, it would have been a little better. That's just me. And of course it does end with a setup for a sequel. I had heard that there were 2 end credit pieces, so I saw the first one, which was hilarious, I'm laughing out loud. and then they had some credits, and then there was another stinger, which was clearly setting up for the sequel, and it's exactly what you would expect to see. But then I left. And then later I was checking something on the Wikipedia page, and I saw in the plot description that first one is not an end credits. There was one more at the end of the credits. I guess because the credits hadn't started, that little end scene was just an additional scene. But it was very funny. So you can stay till the end, although from what I read, the end credits, I didn't care. I was not upset that I missed it. Didn't matter to me. As for gaming, I actually did not touch Ghost of Yotei all week. I was not in the mood. This week, I needed something low stress this week, so I played a lot of Animal Crossing, and then a lot of Disney, and some Nikki. Nikki, not so much, because like I said before, this new update, it's not a new area to explore or anything. You're just doing more quests with the same characters, so it's less interesting to me. But I needed things that were casual and that weren't going to stress me out. So I needed to unwind with my video games, and Ghost of Yotei was not going to unwind me. That was going to stress me out. But I ended up playing a lot of Disney because this was the new update that brought Hercules to the Valley. And it's funny because I actually did a little bit of the Star Path first, because one of the first things you can get in the Star Path is a toga. And I wanted to wear the toga when I went to the Hercules realm to do all of that and bring Hercules and Phil to the valley. So I had to wait until I had a toga. It didn't take long. Just a couple of things. Then I had my toga, and then I went and I helped, and then it was a cute little adventure, and there's like little obstacle courses that weren't really that hard. And then you bring Hercules to the valley, and then Phil comes later, but you don't actually have to do anything. You just sort of go back and like bring, he's like, oh, can you get me that from over there? And then you just bring that over, and he's like, okay, I'll go with you. And it's like, okay, like why didn't you just come in the first place? That was a waste of time. And then Phil comes to the valley. And then once they were there, I just started like giving them gifts to boost the friendship and doing Star Path duties. But then later in the week, I got distracted by the museum because this update also opened up the rooms at the museum for the Forest of Valor, which I call the Forest of Valor for some reason. I don't know why. And the Glade of Trust. And I mentioned in a previous episode that I had been like collecting wood everywhere I go because I had my little corgi puppy. And then of course with this update, there was a little Cerberus puppy, which I couldn't resist, so I bought that. And he was collecting all the wood for me, so I had plenty of wood. The problem is I didn't have the other stuff. Like, I forgot that you also were going to need a crap ton of flowers from that biome, and because like all the food is easy, and like getting the fish is easy because I have fish in my storage for cooking. And of course all the animals have already been unlocked like years ago. So like all of that is easy. The tricky part is the gems, but I don't hoard gems. So like it just gets a little tricky. So like I can easily do the food and then the animals, and then I get the little animal habitat for that biome. And then eventually I can get the gems. I get all of the gems, and then I do the fish, which is super easy. And then I get the little aquarium for the biome. And then it's the middle section that kills me because, like, once you get all the flowers, that's fine. Then you have to do, like, this much wood and this much Dreamlight and this much of this flower and this much rock and this much whatever. And that's the center one that finishes it off. And that's the tricky one that I'm still not done with because they need like 18 of this flower and I can only pick like 3 at a time. So it's annoying. But that was really nice to be able to just relax with something low-key Disney, just wandering around, collecting shit, and building things and giving gifts and cooking and doing all that random boring stuff. I wanted boring this week. Also, I wanted to talk about Sony they did a State of Play, which started with Wolverine, of course. This is the big new release coming out in September, which I would like to get, but I probably won't get at launch. I can't remember the last game that I actually bought full price at launch. Because I'm so behind on games, because I take so long to play them, I end up playing like a little bit, like I end up buying them later when they're like half off or more, which is nice, because then I can save money on top of everything else, which is good. So it needs to be something that I like really desperately can't wait to play that I will buy for $60. This is not really that. It's Insomniac, so I know that it'll be good, because I feel like the last games that I bought full price were like Spider-Man 2. So, that was Insomniac. So I know it'll be a good game, but I don't know if I'm going to buy that in September when it first comes out for $70. I might wait a little. Maybe at Christmas it'll be $35 or something. I don't know, $40. But it also, watching the trailer, it reminded me that I'm really hoping that there's a blood slider. I know I mentioned this when they had the first announcement for Wolverine. I want like a slider or something, or at least options, because the blood they show is like so over the top, it's ridiculous, and I don't like it. I like my comic books to be more old school, not gory and violent. So Spider-Man's great, he just punches. No gore. Wolverine, I understand the claws. Blood everywhere. That makes logical sense, but I don't want to see it. But I don't want to just be like all the blood or no blood. I would like some blood. That would be a nice option in the middle. If I could do that, that would be great. Thank you. Please, Insomniac. But then they had... I didn't watch this live, obviously. I never watch these trailer shows live because I need to be able to fast forward through the games I don't care about, because that's like 75% of it. So they're like, we have one game left to show to you. And I'm like, there's 30 minutes left in this YouTube video. Like, what are you talking about? One game for 30 minutes? And it's because they decided they were going to show 20 minutes of gameplay of the new God of War game, Lafe. I'm like, what? Like, why? Like, I don't like watching Let's Plays. I find them boring, because, like, I've only ever done a few. People were like, oh, do a Let's Play. Like, do a gameplay video. And I'm like, I've done it for, like, horror games, because then you can listen to me scream and carry on, and it's funny, I suppose. But, like, I don't enjoy watching those kinds of videos. I want to play the game. I don't want to watch someone play a game. Especially not a game I want to play. So I turned it off, because I don't care about the new God of War game, because I didn't play the last one. I liked the first reboot, but I didn't play the last one, so I don't care about this one yet. And also, I don't want to watch 20 minutes of a game that I'm not going to play for like 2 years, probably. I don't want to... No, thank you. I have better things to do with my time. Elsewhere, I did fast forward through a lot of it. There wasn't a whole lot. It's like, do I need to see Silent Hill Townfall again? Another trailer? Like, I know it's got, that's not an announcement. I did think that they did the trailer for Until Dawn 2, which was unfortunate because I didn't think it looked that good. It's a different developer. It's not Supermassive. So, like, I'm already not that into it. And then to look at it and, like, the motion capture and facial like the faces and the animation of the like, it just didn't look as good to me. I don't know. But again, those games I never buy. Like The Quarry, I didn't buy until it was like $15. Like, you never buy those at full price. Those are always going to come down. So I might play Until Dawn at some point, like afterwards when it goes on clearance. But then the only one that really like grabbed me was The Lost Wild, which interested me because it looks like Jurassic World, like the Jurassic World movies should have been, except they decided they wanted to be realistic, so you don't have T-Rexes running around Brooklyn and New York City, which is what I wanted to see. So the idea of like dinosaurs and surviving them intrigues me. I like Jurassic Park, so being in Jurassic Park would be kind of cool. It's not really clear like the story behind the game, but it's you're sort of trying to survive dinosaurs, so that to me is intriguing. It just depends on when the game comes out. That's a wait for review kind of game, because I don't trust that it'll be fun. It might be too survival-y, and I don't want it to get too detailed and in the weeds of like, you know, surviving and make it too realistic. It needs to be I need it to be fun. You know what I mean? Games should be fun, not too realistic. But like, that was all that really grabbed me in this. I mean, Wolverine obviously is cool, and you know, the dinosaur game looked cool. But everything else was just sort of like, I don't care. And not for me, thank you. But I know everybody else is very excited for those games. So you enjoy, because I don't like flight simulators or like those action games, you know, like Onimusha and stuff. I guess I could try the demo and see, but it's not really my kind of thing. There was also the Summer Game Fest trailers, but I have not yet had a chance to look at those yet. So come back next episode and I will have had a chance to look at those and see if there's anything there that struck my fancy that maybe I want to buy on launch day. It could happen. You don't know. I'm weird that way. Bye!